I love you guys. Thank you.
Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland have each stepped into the famous red and blue suit of everyone's favorite friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, bringing different style and charm to the character. When we polled fans who their favorite version of Spider-Man was, the results came flooding in. Today at CBR, we're revealing who you think is the best Spider-Man of all time. Tobey Maguire has the honor and distinction of being the first major actor to take on the role of Spider-Man. 2001's Spider-Man was a game changer, not just for the web-slinging superhero, but for superhero movies in general. It was loaded with explosive action, tons of classic Spider-Man characters, and it gushed with Spider-Man's classic humor and wit. Tobey Maguire was an amazing choice for Peter Parker as he embodied the frail and socially awkward teen perfectly, even after his fateful bite by a radioactive spider. Tobey's take on Peter Parker was ardent, and throughout his trilogy of films, fans could see a definitive maturation in both Peter Parker's and Spider-Man's character. He was witty and funny, but weighed down by his responsibilities to Aunt May. He always fought for the greater good, but still struggled to deal with his inability to manage his personal life with Mary Jane and Harry Osborn. In many ways, Tobey Maguire was the classic 1960s iteration of Spider-Man come to life. It's unfortunate that many people remember his role strictly for the now infamous Bully Maguire memes and his one particular cool guy persona from Spider-Man 3, but stepping back and looking at his entire performance history reveals that Tobey completely nailed the role of Peter Parker. There was a ton of Tobey Maguire love in the comments section. Tobey Maguire had perfect acting and storyline. Tobey's memes will immortalize him as the true Spidey. Tobey will always be the best Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield had the extremely unfortunate position of filling the shoes left behind by Tobey Maguire. Set within a completely different timeline and universe, Andrew Garfield's interpretation of Spider-Man was young, spunky, and energetic, but also possessing of the same self-doubt that has always plagued the comic character. Andrew Garfield was the Spider-Man of a newer generation, and his superb acrobatics during his battles made his fight sequences a joy to watch. Andrew only received 2 films to his name during his stint as Spider-Man, with both films covering a very different aspect of Peter Parker's life. While Tobey Maguire's films had paired him with Mary Jane Watson as his primary love interest, Andrew Garfield's films brought him together with Gwen Stacy, the very first woman that Peter Parker had truly fallen in love with. Peter and Gwen's relationship through their 2 films was as genuine and heartfelt, yet awkward and complicated as it should have been. True to the comics, however, Gwen met a terrible fate at the hands of the Green Goblin, a scene that Andrew Garfield brought to heartbreaking life. For many fans, Andrew Garfield was the pitch-perfect Spider-Man. His timeless wisecracking, fluid combat, and great-looking suit allowed him to bring Spider-Man to life in big ways. Especially when paired against villains such as the Lizard, Electro, and the Rhino, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man certainly had his work cut out for him. People in the comments were only too happy to proclaim their love for Andrew Garfield. Andrew Garfield was just cool yet nerdy. He was just fitting for Spidey. The best Spider-Man is Andrew. Andrew Garfield's the best Peter Parker by far. He's awkward, is a nerd, and a bit of a loner. When Tom Holland made his very first debut as Spider-Man, he had a very stiff uphill climb ahead of him. People were only too quick to think his suit looked bad, the delivery of his lines was annoying, and that he was a pale imitation of what Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield had previously established. But when he finally let loose in Captain America: Civil War, Tom Holland not only officially brought Spider-Man into the MCU, but he also proved all the naysayers wrong. Tom Holland was the youngest version of Spider-Man fans had received yet, a detail that brought a sense of inexperience and immaturity to his character, but flaws that were counterbalanced with his unyielding desire to be the best hero he could. Tom Holland not only portrayed Spider-Man across the core MCU films, but also within his own solo series of movies as well. This gave Tom a much broader range of friends, villains, and scenarios to build himself up from jabbering non-stop as he fought the Falcon, to pleading to Iron Man to hold him tight, and to battling the sinister Mysterio. Tom Holland ran the full gauntlet of what Spider-Man could be as a cinematic character. The love for Tom Holland was a bit slim in the comments, but his fans still spoke up. All three are great, but me personally, I like Tom Holland the best because he's closer to the comics. I feel that Tom is the best. Tom Holland, in my opinion. Of course, there were also plenty of people who believed that there was no single best version of Spider-Man. Quite a few fans stated that they thought each of the actors brought different and unique qualities to the role that made them all fun. And honestly, all things considered, this might be the best take on the question too. Andrew equals the best Spider-Man, Toby equals the best Peter Parker, Tom equals the best balance of both. The poll results. As the dust settled and people's votes came in, there was not only a winner, but a clear and decisive winner that took the top spot by a mile. There have been several amazing and spectacular Spider-Man actors over the years, but according to you, the all-time best Spider-Man is Tobey Maguire. Okay, so here are the final results. Tobey Maguire won by a landslide with 55% of the votes going to him. Tom Holland came in second with 26% of fans voting for him. And last, but most certainly not least, but also with the least votes, Andrew Garfield came in with 19% of votes coming his way. The consensus of the poll was that while Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland were both great in their own ways, Tobey Maguire was, quite simply, the first and original. The OG Spider-Man and the GOAT all in one, fans agreed that Tobey Maguire not only set the bar for how Peter Parker and Spider-Man should be portrayed, but he also laid the groundwork for all other films to follow. In what is arguably the greatest moments in superhero cinematic history, seeing all three actors come together in Spider-Man, No Way Home gave fans of all three actors everything they could have ever wanted. Every villain that they had fought, every hardship that they had endured, and all of their personal growths and accomplishments came together in a senses-shattering culmination that celebrated everything they had contributed to the legacy of Spider-Man. Seeing Tobey Maguire return, older and wiser, watching Andrew Garfield save MJ and redeem himself after losing Gwen Stacy, and watching Tom Holland struggle to make sense of his world that had fallen apart all around him was the ultimate amalgamation of everything Spider-Man is, in and out of the comics. Tobey Maguire should be honored that fans have come to his side after all this time. It had felt like his tenure as the masked wall crawler had been forever sullied by his troubled third film. But as you have all proven quite definitely, it's all water under the bridge. So here's to Tobey Maguire, the undisputed greatest Spider-Man of all time. What are some of your favorite things about each Spider-Man? Let us know in the comments. Thank you for joining us today at CBR.